and welcome to the Guitar Collection. Today I have an incredible Greg Smallman Sons guitar from the year 2005. Now I have to say, these are exceptional instruments that are, of course, famously played by so many of the most well-known concert artists around the world. Of course, not limited to, but including John Williams, and so many others. You can just look that up. Judicaël Perroy, Viloteau. I mean, there are countless names that play Greg Smallman guitars, and it's for a very good reason. These are extremely powerful instruments with just breathtaking sustain, with incredible modern features that not only make this guitar comfortable to play, but fun to play. Now, this guitar has a cedar top with, of course, Greg Smallman's what he invented, the lattice-braced design in the guitar. It is an extremely heavy guitar with doubled sides and backs, and it's a real work of art, but it feels very comfortable in your lap. But maybe we should go through some of the specs here. This guitar, while it is 20 years old, it is in remarkable condition. Now, when you look close up on this instrument, you will see that there are lots of little nail marks and raschiato marks and so on, but there are no cracks. And I have to say, that's one nice benefit of the matte finish that you get on these Greg Smallman guitars, because it's a little bit less noticeable. It's not like you've got it all shiny and then one spot's less shiny. It's just very flat looking, which is quite nice. Has a very comfortable armrest, which I gotta say, it comes off of the top of the guitar quite a bit. You know, you can see that armrest, and it makes it so comfortable for the right hand. I'm a big fan. I think it looks very classy on the guitar. And of course, so much nostalgia when looking at an instrument like this. Check out the back and sides on this. You'll notice right away this orange color. And also a dome to the back. You know, this is all Greg Smallman guitars have this, but it has an arched back that is quite noticeable. And I actually have to say, of course, it's for sound reasons, but when you rest it against your body, it feels really nice. It feels round. The headstock is what you would expect, except it has this beautiful piece of wood here as an inlay. And then we've got what looks like to be Sloan tuners, something subpar, honestly, which always blows my mind when very high-end guitars have somewhat cheap tuners. But you know what? Of course, that's a very upgradable detail, and these guitars are already extremely expensive. Last but not least, this one has an adjustable action neck. Now, I want to be clear, this is very different than a truss rod. A truss rod adjusts the relief on the neck, so whether it bows this way or this way, right? The adjustable action neck is something totally different, which is a thing that you'll see on Greg Smallman guitars from the early 2000s all the way till now. And it allows you with this little, it's just an Allen key tool, to put it in here. And I'm not going to do it because it'll change the tuning. I'll show you later. But when I twist, it will literally raise all of the strings immediately right off of the guitar, or I can get it so low to where every single note buzzes. And I have to say, this is such a cool feature. Yes, most of the time you end up settling with like your favorite spot and you may not touch it much. But if you were practicing a lot, and we've all gone through times where we're practicing a lot and our hands hurt or left hand's bothering you a little bit, hey, why not play a little bit quieter and lower the action so low to where most of the notes buzz if you push it a little bit harder? Might allow you to practice a little bit longer with a little bit more ease. And then when you're feeling good again or you've had a day to rest, you can raise the action back up. Or say you're about to go play a big concert and you're someone who's playing concerts around the country or world. Well, when you're playing really loudly, you're playing in a concerto or something like this, an environment, maybe you're unmiked, you might want to raise that action up so you're not buzzing as easily. You can lay into the guitar a little bit more. It's such a cool feature. I mean, I understand there's complications with other luthiers putting this on their guitars and they worry about it affecting the sound. The Smallmans have figured it out. You can't expect it on every guitar, but it is so cool. I mean, I love this. And also, you know, that hole that I put the Allen key adjustment tool, which is of course from the Smallmans, you notice it when you're up close, but you don't see it from afar. Like, you may not even notice it in this video. Let's go ahead and check out the sound of this 2005 Greg Smallman guitar. right away I notice the evenness of the instrument. I have to say, this is one of the more natural sounding Greg Smallman guitars I've ever played. And this, the way the bass strings sustain is really, really nice. When you play a note in the bass on this guitar, you always feel like it's there to support you. Like, you know, if I go like this, I hear this E still just rumbling, and that's so nice. I mean, of course I can mute it if I want, right? Like that. But it's something really to be said about how beautifully the notes sustain on a Smallman guitar. And of course, a lot of people will be very focused in this range, right? Where you're playing the 12th fret, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Like, listen to this. This is going from, let's go from a nasty note, E flat, right? This is muting everything. Insane, right? When a lot of people focus in on the quality of sustain on high up on the first string, but don't forget the other strings sustain matters too, not just the trebles. I mean, I have to say, sustain being a problem on the bass strings is usually not a big issue on guitars. However, exceptional sustain really stands out, right? When you're playing something in a low position on the 5th string, right? It's always there to support you. The other thing that you're going to want to notice right away with this guitar are the treble strings and just how beautifully they sustain. Listen to this. And I have to say, the more you play on these trebles, the more you forget about how amazing the basses are. You start thinking, oh, listen to that. It's really something special. Now, you know, it's worth saying that these guitars do have a modern sound. You do notice the lattice-braced sound to it. And if you switch right back and forth between, say, a traditional guitar and something like a Greg Smallman guitar, you are going to notice this kind of like shift in sound, almost like it's a different instrument. That being said, once you adapt your hands to it and you know how to treat the guitar in the way that it wants to be treated, which really is something to be said of these guitars. You have to figure out how it wants to be treated. It becomes by far the most easy to play instrument in the world because you don't have to worry about things like sustain and balance. It all comes very, very natural. I love that. I mean, you still hear that low 6-string ringing, that low D. You know, just how you can control just certain notes lasting forever. It's so pleasing. It's such a beautiful guitar. And, you know, here's a perfect example. The beginning of Julia Florida here by Agustín Barrios, the famous Paraguayan guitarist and composer. Listen to the balance there. So clear, so even. What's the other thing I notice? Yeah, when I do this. Right, you know, this D, I mean, on almost every guitar that you play, it's going to be so much shorter than this. I mean, it almost makes me want to change fingerings because I can let it last forever. I'll play another piece for you. We're gonna pause there. Just listen to that again. It's simply amazing. I mean, when you get used to how to treat these guitars, I really think there's nothing like them. It's there's a reason why so many players play these guitars, and you know, how you feel about them when they're in your hands, it might be different than what you perceive of them. My challenge would be for anyone here to come play this guitar for an hour and then switch to another guitar. It's so difficult because it makes making music extremely easy. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in this guitar, definitely check it out at guitarcollection.com. I've got a full album of photos on there that are beautiful of this guitar. You can see every little detail. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Definitely go to guitarcollection.com and subscribe to the mailing list so you can find out about new instruments before they become available or when they become available. And thank you so much for watching. These videos are so much fun to make, and I have to say I feel so lucky to get to know an instrument like this one. It's really breathtaking, and thanks again. I will see you in the next video.